back and relax. You're listening to the Wealth Tech Today podcast. I'm your host, Craig Iskowitz, founder of Ezra Group Consulting. And this podcast features interviews, news, and analysis on the trends and best practices all around wealth management technology. My guest today was Matt Morris, founder and CEO of EncorEstate Plans. Matt's been at Encore almost 4 years. That was fast. Man, time is flying. Matt and I met back when he was head of sales for Iskowitz, now Nitrogen Wealth. He was there for 5 years, and he was really there for the major growth time at Iskowitz from 2014 to 2020, where their growth just skyrocketed and became the leader in the risk tolerance space. And he used that experience to launch this new company, EncorEstate Plans, not new anymore, 4 years ago. We spoke about estate planning technology trends. We talked a little bit about EncorEstate's plan approach to building estate plans. We also talked about the advisor's opportunities for value added in their software and AI and automation in estate planning. And speaking of AI, what is your firm's AI strategy? Do you even have one? If not, you are flying blind into a storm of changes coming for our industry. Here at Ezra Group, we help wealth management firms turn their AI chaos into a competitive advantage. Our tech stack and AI strategy solutions are built specifically for advisory businesses, integrating custodial feeds, portfolio management systems, CRMs, and AI tools into a single scalable source of truth. If you want to free your firm for exponential growth, you need to run, not walk, to our website, ezragroup.com, and click the golden Contact Us button on the homepage. Whether you're building or evaluating your first AI-powered solution or struggling with a bloated tech stack that's become a liability, the experienced team at Ezra Group will help you design, optimize, and future-proof your infrastructure. We know what works and what doesn't. Visit ezragroup.com today. All right, standard housekeeping chores. Subscribe to this podcast, yada, yada, yada. Invest in others, charitablefoundation.org, and vendor portal. If you have software you're selling to advisors, go to ezragroup.com/register and register your product with our Wealth Tech Integration Score so your score is always up to date. And now, let's kick this thing off. I am excited to introduce our next guest. It is Matt Morris, founder and CEO of EncorEstate Plans. Matt, so glad you're here, man.
Thank you for having me, Craig. I'm excited to talk to you about estate planning and this category of wealth tech.
I'm always excited to talk about every category of wealth tech, Matt Morris.
Yes.
It's all interesting to me, which is why I have the podcast, because I
Yeah.
like talking about this stuff. It's all we do here at Ezra Group as a technology consulting firm. We're talking about technology. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Spokane, Washington, right, and near Coeur d'Alene. So the Great Pacific Northwest.
Beautiful. We are on opposite coasts. I'm in New Jersey, enjoying
Yep.
the weather here for once. I can't really complain. I just had someone on from San Diego, and I'm thinking the weather here is almost as good this week, at least. Next week will be crap, but it's good this week.
Yep. Our great weather is May to October.
Mhm.
It's coming to an end. And so we are the place to be across those summer months. And the long winter is about to set in. But I'm looking forward to snowboarding season here in a
Oh
couple
yeah,
months.
me too, man. We got to do that sometime.
Yeah. Let's meet up, make that happen.
Meet you in Park City.
There you go. Perfect.
Awesome. Right. So let's get this going. Give us the 30-second elevator pitch for EncorEstate Plans.
Yeah, EncorEstate Plans is a really unique software platform that enables the advisor to deliver the best estate planning client experience available, and doing that in a number of ways that are making sure estate plans are created in a way the client wants, with customization, with human review, that they are funded, go figure, it's kind of an important part of estate planning, and with a service component that advisors appreciate and that focuses on the advisor being the hero of the estate planning experience for the client.
That is awesome. I love to hear that. We do a lot of work, obviously, in all categories.
Yeah.
Like wealth tech estate planning is one that our higher net worth clients get involved in all the time. But what we found in our experience, estate planning often lags behind other areas of fintech. I'm not sure why. Why do you think that has slowed innovation, and what's changing now?
Yeah, I think this was less true maybe for the RAs that were working in the high net worth space traditionally, if you go back 15, 20 years ago, when we had estate tax exemptions that were much lower. And then we've seen them creeping up over the last 15 years. And so the traditional help an advisor would deliver from a tax component of estate planning has kind of minimized for the vast majority of most advisors and firms' book of business. And so I think there was a lag for a season. And what's really come back, though, is now the need amongst the mass affluent clients for just basic documents and basic understanding of their estate plans. And so we have this problem that 67% of Americans don't even have an estate plan. And so the opportunity that something's broken here about the experience, that people aren't getting the documents in place, and the opportunity that creates for advisors to step into that gap, kind of ending the procrastination, I think, that is around it. And now it's the Encores of the world and all of our peers in this category bringing good solutions to advisors that they're able to step into it and find ways to deliver value in maybe a non-traditional way.
So understanding that and how that has changed, what trends are you seeing in how advisors are incorporating estate planning? And are they able to bring it more deeply into the financial planning process, or is it more of a parallel process?
Yeah, it's definitely, and kind of to that last question too, is while it's traditionally lagged, it's catching up. And so if you're familiar with the Kitces Tech survey, and your work with Michael there, you're familiar with the T3 surveys. And if you look at the category, it's actually the fastest growing category of new adoption for services within advisors. And so really the trend is there's the estate planning documents, but there's also all the components that go with that, that there are gaps in what clients need. What all of us need is we need somebody here that is making sure the loose ends are tied up. So it's leaning in for the mass affluent, making sure they have a document. If they getting that document in place, but then also doing the funding. There's a lot of I's to dot and T's to cross when it comes to beneficiary designations, when it comes to property deeds moved into the trust for the funding components. Those are things that are very commonly missed that great advisors are leaning into, but they're also revisiting the plan when life events happen. So, Craig, you were thinking about moving, you just bought a house. That's a life event, divorce, inheritance, kids turn 18, there are estate planning implications that need to be considered. And so I think what's beginning to happen is the reality of a financial plan, and this is how we've positioned it to advisors, is it's a living document. And it's going to be, and every life event changes, create the need for conversations around the financial plan. Here we're updating the financial plan on a consistent basis. Estate planning has traditionally been a set it and forget it. And the advisors go, you have a document? Great. Check the box, you got a document. And no one is there to say, is this document you did a decade ago still reflect what you would want today? Nobody asked that question until now, that we can make it easy to extract, make it easy to provide a summary, and help make sure clients' existing documents are what they are. And then we're going to iterate it. Once it's digitized into a software platform, now that problem traditionally of time to make a change in your estate plan, go back to that original attorney, start the process over, or find a new attorney and download everything from scratch, has been a part of the broken experience. And now software is enabling that to be done within the tool and the realm of the advisor to continue to review, make sure it's up to date. And when things change, very simply create new documents, make sure the documents reflect current reality.
So does your software, when you talk about gaps in the client's needs and making it a living document, does your software prompt the advisor? Because I know a lot of advisors, maybe
Yeah.
they've got a million other things to do, so maybe they don't know when they have to update the process, and the clients don't certainly know. They're too busy. So do you have any
Yeah.
technology that's nudging clients along to get them motivated to complete the
Yeah.
process?
Yeah, it's one of the areas we continue to get better at is helping. We're actually going to be launching a white paper here pretty quickly with Bento Engine on this topic of what are the life events that need to come and how we can both prompt that. Obviously, good for our business to drive more activity in our app, which is the goal for any software provider. And so, but absolutely that they're well aware of where those opportunities are created. And I think as advisors also learn what they need to learn. There's still a pretty substantial learning curve, I think, from advisors being comfortable with estate planning conversations, that there's a lot of work to do there for advisors to grow more and more comfortable, and where we can prompt them, where they can begin to understand and see these insights. It's all about value delivery and how can we deliver more value. And estate planning is such a humongous opportunity for advisors focused on how do I deliver more to my clients, and that's exactly a perfect area.
How are you balancing human review and automation, especially around AI and other technologies?
Well, number one, we're unique in that we prioritize it. There's a reality that we can build tech and tech can do so much, and but there's some limitations there. And so obviously Encore, like any other platform, takes high quality attorney created templates in all 50 states and then builds technology that says, hey, here's the data points we need to populate this template, just like any attorney is going to do when they sit with a client and often do find and replace to create a document out of a template. So that reality is there. What the problem can be is bad inputs can be bad outputs. And when clients drive that process, there's concerns there. And so we've prioritized from the beginning providing an extra level of review to say from a quality control component. That's super important. We see mistakes that come through all the time that if we had just let the software back out, it could have been huge issues down the road. And so advisors really appreciate that they've got another set of eyes, and it's a service component, but the ability with AI, the ability with our team internally is the efficiency around delivering a high quality document that has that quality control component, is getting more and more efficient, and it's helping us deliver the highest quality within a realm that's efficient and allows us to do it in a more efficient way. But also, what goes with that is important is the customization aspect. So, thinking about this is, again, tech only, we are in a situation where we have to limit what the inputs can be for someone to get a document that's going to be created by tech only. And this is an area where advisors get frustrated at times. If it's just going to spit right back out a document, I can't. I either have to give you 100 for all the ways you could customize your documents. I have to get asked for 100 more inputs to make sure we've covered all those ways. And so this is fascinating from a tech standpoint because I can't, or I just can't give you the option. And if I give you too many choices, we're going to be procrastinate. We're going to have paralysis by analysis. So what's that right blend of flexibility I can give you to create a document? With Encore, we've just said, you know what? Let's lean into humans. How about we make it super easy for the client? Here's a notes section. Anything you want to tell us that you want your document to cover, put it in this notes section. Easy for the client. And then our humans are able to read those notes. And now we can make sure the inputs go into the document where they're appropriate for based upon what the client wanted. And now we have a wider swath of customization. And this is really important to advisors delivering to the client what they want. That's really important, and a higher quality document because it reflects everything the client wished. We aren't stuck with just delivering what only our inputs can provide. And so doing that, and that's another element of how does technology, we are getting more efficient by the day. But I'll just tell you kind of our core principle is we want to deliver the highest quality experience, so we bring humans into it. And then now we're forced to say, how do we become more efficient internally? And so a lot of our use of AI, a lot of our those efficient, the tech build is how do we still deliver this highest level of human support, human oversight, human customization, and do it as efficiently as possible so we can meet a price point, so we can stay competitive within that realm. So anyway, a lot downloaded there, but really important to the quality of the experience.
One of the differences between estate planning and other aspects is a lot of it requires an attorney being involved. So how do
Mhm.
you help triage to know which ones need attorneys and which ones don't?
Yeah, I think we're as far as I know, we're the only platform that actually disqualifies a lot of estate plans from the start. And so we actually have a list of disqualification questions that say, here's the client, help us understand the client situation that our advisors are asking their client right up front to even find out if they're a fit. And so some of those are related around, are you going to disinherit a child? That's an implication that really we don't believe a software platform should be working with that client. They need insights from their attorney because this plan in the future has a much higher probability of being contested. And so, how do we then protect the advisor? How do we help the advisor know that? If they're up against the estate tax exemption, obviously we understand now there's complexities, there's irrevocable trust planning. Our focus has been to deliver for the mass affluent. And so, where Encore shines is within that category. And so, we're not doing analysis for estate tax implications. That is now a much smaller segment of most advisors' book of business. But we're focused on how do we make that experience easy? How do we solve for those needs around getting the documents created and updated and create them from a living document standpoint as they go?
So you started to build some tools that allow the attorneys get access to the advisor workflows. So
Yeah.
what collaboration do you see between advisors and attorneys, and how will that evolve?
Actually, can I pause for a sec? Because
Of
as I
course you
answered
can.
that last question, I'm just going to take my pause because on that last question, I kind of very ventured off and I'm like, oh shit, what was that question? That was the attorney one. And I ventured off from the attorney answer. And so, because you asked, I'm sorry, because I ventured away from
That's okay. You can venture away. It's all right.
dealing with the question you asked before that. This one was the attorney review. Was that right?
Yeah, it was a triage. How do you know when an attorney is needed?
Great. So I started down that road. Okay, I actually answered that, I guess, okay, with where that attorney is. Now you asked
I
me the
think you did
next question.
great.
So why don't you ask me this new question again?
Well, it's
What,
already been asked. So I'll just pause 3 seconds.
which one was that? That was the
Ask this. I've already asked the second question. We're just going to cut out all this conversation. So it's the complex cases. How do you see the collaboration between advisors and attorneys? How is that evolving?
yeah. Okay. So with attorneys, the collaboration, I think advisors have attempted to do that for a long time and really struggled with this. And so attorneys don't use much technology. They have technology that helps them fill documents. And really, the opportunity to deliver great experiences there where the advisor is able to get the client to second and third base often with their estate planning conversations. And I think the traditional method of just referring to attorneys, advisors saying, client, you need to get that done, you need to get that done, here's an attorney, was leaving a lot to be desired for clients and that's what led to the procrastination. And so where advisors now can facilitate the experience through a software app, but where it's time for some irrevocable trust planning or even just a review of the irrevocable trust or will-based plans, having attorneys that are integrated into the software platform is a huge win for both the client and the advisor. And so that's what we've done is we've partnered with the law firms around the country. We have one law firm that covers a lot of states for us. eLegacy is a great firm and that is built to do kind of online estate plans from scratch in partnership with advisors. And so, but what's beautiful is when advisors have a plan they're working through their client with Encore with, and they want that extra level of a state-specific attorney review, they now have that where eLegacy has their own login to our platform. When that feature is selected, they can then, from the Encore side, jump in, see all the inputs into that client within our platform. And now they can deliver a state-specific review, have a conversation with the client, and that can be integrated into the experience. And they collect their fee for providing those services. But it's not just a separate from here's the output from the document, and now that attorney does a separate review. It's integrated and they're able to see what's in the software. And I love where, the more complex cases, and I think Luminary and Vanilla's doing a good job with this, where they're saying, okay, now we're into more complex, irrevocable trust planning and integrating attorneys and advisors in the same app. That's not our world where we're focused, but I love what's happening there. That this needs to be advisor quarterbacked more and more
Mhm.
is the best client experience.
Right.
And I have some opinions on why that is, but yet the attorney level of sophistication is a huge win for clients, advisors, and attorneys, quite honestly.
We all like winning.
It's
Right.
it's a lot of this is solving for just base level needs that have been there, that technology can help bridge gaps that previously haven't been solved for. And I mean, I do find there's still some advisors that have, and larger firms who have brought that attorney in house. That's a great experience. Or if you can have an attorney right next door and you work with them in collaboration all the time, that's the next best level. But that, I think, a lot of advisors struggle to find those relationships. I think we also are in a place where we have an estate planning attorney shortage. We know the average age of a financial advisor. I think it's the same realm for estate planning attorneys, and advisors are really struggling with that partner. And especially, and then we've also seen with COVID, we were talking at the beginning here, you were thinking about moving. You think of all the migration. Now advisors have clients all over the country.
Mhm.
And so they might have a great local attorney right here. We
Mhm.
can partner. But now I have those clients in Florida, I have the clients in California, I have the clients in Washington State. How do I deliver a great experience within an out-of-state client? Well, technology can bridge that gap and bring in a out-of-state attorney into the process, and now that client gets the best of both worlds.
I like that too. I like the best of both worlds. And speaking of the best of both worlds, one issue that has caused a lot of consternation is document generation.
Mhm.
And other platforms we're seeing are touting the speed that they can generate documents, but I think quality control is also important. How do you balance those two?
Yeah, we're the only ones that make you wait a few days. And so we have once everything's submitted to Encore, we have two levels of human review and we get documents back within 5 business days. You can pay some extra and jump the line if clients heading out on vacation. But let me ask you the question. Would you rather have a document back in 5 days that's had a couple rounds of quality review from a human estate planner? Or would you rather have a document back in minutes that has a 5 to 10% probability of having an issue in it?
Well, considering what the stakes are, they were talking about my estate plan, I'd probably want the 5 day wait with 100% accuracy.
Yeah, you're not alone.
That's just me,
So
though.
that's just you. I tend to believe, and from our experience, that most advisors and their clients agree with you too. Traditionally, where we've been clients wait months and weeks on end to meet with the attorney, compared to the existing process, that's a huge win. 5 business days, they know on the documents, they set the next meeting. And so, yep, there's a little bit of patience required, but this is a document that is really important to get right. And for those who appreciate that over speed, there's lots of options. If they like speed, it's not going to be Encore, and we're okay with that. And the importance of that review. This was interesting. I don't know if did you hear? We just put out an AI chat study on estate planning questions. I don't know if you had a chance
Hmm.
to see that.
No, I didn't see that yet.
Okay. So we kind of just did a review of all the AI chatbots and that are commonly used and graded them for their estate planning questions. Now, to me, kind of how chatbots are being used, and obviously we're focused on how they're being used from a estate planning consideration, but it's still kind of the wild west for AI chatbots in a lot of ways. People like you are a very small cohort of people who have gotten really good at prompting them well to get really good outcomes. But I would say it's the wild west, and 95% of the population doesn't know how to ride horses.
Yeah.
So how do they use this tool? They just ask questions. And have you ever had any chatbot say, Craig, it depends. I'm not sure. I
No,
need more information
no,
before I answer that
no.
question.
They
I
always
need
answer right away.
this and this. They're helpful. They want to give you a good they want to give you an answer and they want to give it to you fast. And so what we're seeing is more and more people getting with bad prompts, getting their estate planning questions answered with bad outputs from an AI chatbot, jumping into a piece of software saying, this is how I'm going to do my estate plan. And where that thing just gets printed back out, here you go, you're off and running, and don't even know that those bad inputs turned in can be a disaster later on. We're seeing it and we're communicating back. Why did you do this way? Why did you name your 23-year-old as a trustee and then give that person a distribution schedule out to age 35? If you're 20 gone and they're 25, they can distribute everything to themselves. And and those are the sort of things that can create real problems later and not accomplish what the client wants. And so anyway, that's again speaking to that
Mhm.
why quality matters over speed,
Sure.
for anybody who really considers that question.
Well, speaking of AI, and this is going to be the last question, um, how is it? How is your roadmap changing with AI, and where do you think automation can add the most value to estate planning?
Yeah, for us, it's because we are doing the level of human work, and this flows into deed filing as well, where this is a hugely manual human process. Is we've erred on the side of instead of saying we can't do that because tech doesn't allow us to do that yet, we've erred on the side of we'll do that part with humans, and then we're going to internally leverage AI to get more and more efficient internally. And so that now we can build, like right now, we've filed property deeds from the beginning. We've been doing deed filing to fund trusts, put the property in the name of the trust. And we've done that in over 2,000 counties around the country. And some of those places are a mess to get through county recorder's office and to do this work. But we've been building the proprietary knowledge on how to do this across 2,000 counties. And so as we do that, that enables us then to go and build efficiencies, use AI to pre-fill what we need to pre-fill, knowing what that county needs that's different from every other county, that they need these additional forms, they need this additional information, and really saying, okay, and becoming more and more efficient, both AI and building the tech that takes hard to do things that tech can't alone do, and then becoming really efficient with humans that can do it and solve for a problem that exists.
That sounds like an awesome solution. I'd be happy to sign up for you. If I was a financial advisor, I'd be signing up for this right away.
Well, this is and even we're launching kind of a standalone deed capability. And
Oh,
so
nice.
because the other reality is I don't know if you just bought a house. Hopefully
Yes,
you put it in the name of your trust when you closed on your house.
I didn't. I put it in my name.
Okay. You have an existing revocable trust, right?
I don't know. I'll have to check.
You need a
I
trust.
might.
We'll help you out, Craig. We'll
Yeah,
do
could
yours
you?
for free. Don't tell
Clearly, I need
anybody.
some help.
And so, your property, if so many trusts are being created now and software platforms are doing this, and then they're being left to say, okay, client, great. You didn't have to go to an attorney. We got you a good quality trust document
Mhm.
with this piece of software. Okay, now we need you to go to an attorney and have that attorney go and move your property into the name of the trust, or
Mhm.
we need you to go down to the county recorder's office and
Yeah.
do that. And so the more advisors, and we don't care what platform they use some of our competitors, great.
Mhm.
And they create those documents, or they use the analysis tools of Holistic Plan, FP Alpha, Vanilla Wealth, anybody else. And they should be uncovering that, wait, your property is still in your personal name. You you spent the money to get this trust created so that your loved ones would avoid probate
Mhm.
when administering your estate. But guess what? They're going to probate
Mhm.
because your property is still in the personal name.
Mhm.
And so we're launching that capability to say we don't care how you get it done. We want the advisors
Mhm.
to deliver and find gaps in their clients' financial planning / estate planning and be able to say, wait, client, you have a problem. Let's do here. Let me take 5 minutes with you. And we're
Right.
going to solve that problem
That's
for a
great.
few $100s. And that's a huge win for advisors. It's a major gap in the marketplace. And so we're leaning in to say, just use this for the deed filing and give you an easy experience. If that's all you want to use Encore for,
Mhm.
great. We've built the efficiencies that we can go to market with that as a unique standalone offering.
That was sounds awesome. You have said it all. You've covered all the things we wanted to talk about. Where can people find more information about Encore Estate Plans?
Yeah, EncorEstatePlans.com and one little E in the middle. You got to share
There's
that
only
E.
one E. It's Encore
Only
Estate,
one
but
E.
they share an E.
Yes, you'll find us if you put two in, but the
Excellent.
shared E, that is the advisor that connects the client's Encore to their estate plan. So there is a purpose behind that. Yeah, you can reach us at info@encoreestateplans.com. Would love to share more of how we've built kind of a unique platform. Craig, super grateful to you to get to be on your podcast. Appreciate all the work you do in wealth tech and grateful for all you do for those of us out here trying to help advisors.
Great. Thanks, Matt. Hey, it's Craig again. That's right. It's Craig. And my top three takeaways for this episode were estate planning is a growing area of focus for advisors, but has traditionally lagged behind other fintech innovations. The estate tax exemption has increased over the years, reducing the need for complex estate planning for many clients. However, there is still a large unmet need for basic estate planning documents among the mass affluent. Number two, Encore's software platform is designed to make the estate planning process more efficient and customizable for advisors and their clients. Their platform allows advisors to easily gather client information, generate customized estate planning documents, and manage the funding and maintenance of those plans over time. And number three, Encore is working to integrate attorneys into their platform, enabling seamless collaboration between advisors and legal professionals. Many advisors struggle to find the right estate planning attorney partners, especially as client bases become more geographically dispersed. Encore's integration aims to facilitate this critical advisor-attorney relationship. I think that's hugely important. One of the things I found just in my personal experience working with advisors is that there's so much that's not integrated. It's not really holistic. And when it comes to other professionals like your taxes, your CPA, your legal, your lawyers, integrating into your overall wealth ecosystem, it's very difficult. It's cumbersome. It requires a lot of my time, I know, to move back and forth. So anyone who can organize that and make it easier for advisors to deliver that integrated advice to clients, I think has got something worth looking at. All right. You've reached the end of another episode of the Wealth Tech Today podcast. Thanks for listening. But before you go, head to our website, ezragroup.com, and scroll to the bottom of the homepage and sign up for our newsletter. Once a month, you'll receive an email chock full of wealth management goodness, news, information, and updates. You will not be disappointed. Thanks again for listening, and talk to you all again next time.